Stephen Howson here, full-time Devils post-match. Norwich City 0, Manchester United 1, and an unbelievable snowfest of a game. Honestly, it was difficult to keep your eyes on the attention today. There was just a complete lack of effort or it seemed like a lack of effort. Norwich, you would expect to be fighting for their lives, to actually have some fight about them and come out and attack us, and they didn't do that. And because they didn't do that, and perhaps we maybe expected them to do that, we found it hard to get any sort of rhythm going in the middle. Our midfield was pushed so far back that we was hitting balls longer than necessary, and Rooney, because he's not a striker, isn't able to stretch the defence in the way that he does. He's been playing great as like a number 8, number 10 at the moment. But as a number 9, it's shown the lack of pace, the lack of movement. There was crosses coming into the box at times that you thought that Rashford or Martial or maybe even Memphis might have got on the end of, but Wayne Rooney wasn't getting on the end of them. And sometimes he didn't even try to get on the end of him. You just saw he's like, I'm not going to get it, so I'm not going to move. Mata and Rooney have got excellent touches about them, excellent vision and excellent range of passing and stuff like that, but they are not quick and they are not agile, and that's where Rashford and that have come in and made such a difference to us at the moment. I thought Memphis was very poor, and maybe it again is a confidence thing with him. I do think he needs a run of games. I think it's a difficult situation when you're a player that's not playing to just come in, and people go, Rashford did it. Yeah, Rashford did do it, but I think that's the rarity, and that's why it's such a shock when players do come in and just hit it straight away. You do need to have time into a team, to settle into a team, and I think at times you can accuse Memphis of trying too hard. People say he's lazy, he's got a bad attitude. I don't see that when I look at him on the pitch. I see him constantly trying things that aren't coming off, but I don't see him not trying. I actually see him trying all the time, and I think he works quite hard. I think it's an unfair criticism that he don't work hard. Bothwick Jackson didn't have the greatest of games today. He was solid for the most part with his tackles. His delivery wasn't great with the ball at his feet, which is one of his better attributes. And that, again, could have been a lack of movement. If there'd have been quicker players stretching the defence more, they might have been a bit better. But you can't really say that. Again, on the other side, Antonio Valencia didn't really have a great deal going forward with the ball at his feet. Didn't create much. It's been the same old for the season. We have now kept the most clean sheets in the Premier League this season, which is something to be proud of. But it's the other end. It's what we've been saying all along. The other end, we just can't score goals. We can't create and we can't score. And we're not having anywhere near the number of shots Manchester United should be having. And it's that needs to change. And I think that's why you've got to be playing the likes of Martial and Rashford up front. We got out of jail by giving Rashford a week off. And I've seen a lot of people having a go at Van Gaal for giving him the rest and how it's going to bite us in the arse and this, that, and it very nearly did, let's face it. But for the longevity of Rashford's career, this is an 18-year-old lad that's burst onto the scene. He's still probably adjusting to this in his head. He's also played almost 30 times for the under-18s. He's played for the under-19s. He's played for the under-21s this year, as well as some representative honours with the under-20s, I think, for England. So he's played a lot of football this calendar year that maybe they wasn't planning on him playing. 15 games in the first team this season. So maybe it was good for him. And people say, well, if you're going to do that, maybe just keep him on the bench. It's the travel that takes out of you as well as the match. The travel, he would have still travelled, he would have still done the warm-up, he would have still gone through all the mental things that you need to do when you're on the bench. So giving him the weekend off, not travelling with the squad, that's how you do end up with getting a fresher player. The same with Blind, we've been saying for weeks that he needed a rest, and he's finally given that rest. So that's probably a good thing that both of those have got a rest, because it was a little bit of a gamble, and sometimes we need that, don't we? Sometimes we've been asking for that from Louis van Gaal to do the riskier thing. Well, he did it today. It somehow just managed to pay off. I mean, obviously Louis van Gaal didn't want Martial to be injured, but we did look incredibly toothless once we didn't have Martial or Rashford in the side. So it has paid off. We now look ahead towards Tuesday, which is obviously a must-win game. The next 24 hours are going to be key with the Arsenal and City game. I think it's tomorrow afternoon. I'm actually not sure what time it is, but I'll definitely be watching to make sure that hopefully a point is decent for us. That'll put City then 2 points ahead of us. And if we win the game in hand, then we go into the final game of the season knowing that all we have to do is beat Bournemouth at home to finish in the top 4. Now, no one aspires to just be 4th. The issue, and I'm sick of this argument with people saying that we're happy and celebrating coming 4th. No, we are not. We're saying where this season's come, We still have to get top 4. That is the minimum expectation. That is the minimum required from Manchester United. And we're pushing for it because we still have to get it. Just because you don't win the league, you don't go, oh, let's just come 16th then. We still need to have Champions League football to be able to hit the commercial things that we've got to hit, to be able to attract the players that we've got to hit, and for the prestige of the club. This is Manchester United. We don't want to play Thursday night football. We don't want to even win that competition. I don't care about the Thursday night football trophy. I care about the Champions League. I care about playing the biggest teams in the world. That is what Manchester United is all about. We are the pioneers that took English football into Europe. We belong at Europe's top stage, and that's where I want to see us playing. That's why it matters that we finish in the top 4. The reason that people have a go at Arsenal fans is that they was placated and were like, yeah, well, we finish 4th every year. Like that was an achievement. No one's saying that this is an achievement to be proud of. There will not be a trophy parade through Manchester, I don't think, if we win the FA Cup alone this season. Not anywhere like what we used to have. There might be some sort of presentation at Old Trafford, but we will not be taking an FA Cup on tour around Manchester. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, Arsenal fans was suddenly telling us that the FA Cup was this amazing thing and winning it back-to-back is a massive achievement, like it's equivalent to winning the league or something like that, which it clearly is not. So get your head straight. If we need to finish top 4 for the prestige and for the future of Manchester United. If we finish 5th, it's not the end of the world. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but preferably we want to be finishing in that top 4, don't we? So Tuesday night, massive game. Arsenal City, massive game. And then we go into Bournemouth, the final game of the season. And it's going to be mint because we'll probably be 0-0 at half time. So Sky will be going absolutely ballistic over it because there'll be a million different connotations. And do you know what? I think Arsenal are probably guaranteed to be beating Villa in their final game. But I don't think City are guaranteed to be beating Swansea. And that's what it could come down to. I could see it being the last 10 minutes of the game next week. And we thinking that we've absolutely caved in and not managed to do it because City are beating Swansea. And then for it all to just to change. Without Vincent Kompany, City are garbage. So we can but hope. And there's the added factor of putting Pep Guardiola, who's about to dominate, remember. So we might as well not even turn up us for the next 3-4 years because City are winning everything. Remember that. But it will be interesting to see how Pep Guardiola manages with Manchester City having to cope with that Thursday night, Ukraine, Russia, Romania, all that nonsense that comes along with getting into the Europa League. So this season's almost out. We've done the job today. And it is points over performance at this stage of the season. Because, let's face it, there was nothing to get excited about in the performance. But we got the points. If we get the points towards the end of the season and we are still that rubbish, do you know what? I don't think anyone's going to care at this stage, are they? It's all about what happens over the summer and what happens next season. Thanks for watching. Stick anything you like in the comments. And I'll see you soon. Laters.